guys, welcome back to Once Upon a Tiny Farm. My name's Drew. Today I wanted to give a little update on our off-grid barn build that we're converting to a home for us. And if you haven't seen the previous video I did maybe over a year ago, I showed maybe one or two videos as I was putting in insulation in here and putting up some walls like you can see behind me. But I got a little busy and sidetracked, and this whole time we have this really awesome barn. It's just beautiful on the outside, and we want to make it really beautiful on the inside. But I'm realizing now's the time to get some more work done in here, because I'm going to be really busy starting in April and May getting ready for farmers market season and growing a lot of food. So I want to give a quick tour and update, because some of our plans have changed for this barn, and for the better, I think, and I'm very excited about it. If you don't know, we also live in a tiny house, and this barn is also not very big, but it's actually a lot bigger, more than double the size of our tiny house, so it's going to be a big upgrade. We've got 2 floors. It's 12 feet wide by 20 feet long, and what I've been working on in here is putting up some OSB plywood on the walls. And what I'm actually going to end up doing is putting a nice, I think it's called beadboard, that kind of looks like shiplap. It's white, it looks really nice. It's going to go over top of that, but that's really thin, so I know I had to put the plywood down first, and then it's going to be really white and nice in here, and I'm really excited for that. Another thing I mentioned in the first video, which I'll put a link to that video if you missed that. We were planning to put a small bathroom in the one side of this barn, but since then we've decided to not do the bathroom in here. We're going to end up making a small bathroom outhouse type structure right outside of our front porch here, which will open up a lot more room for us in here, because we already came from a really small house. We don't want to put so much stuff in here that we're really uncomfortable. That's the point of this barn, is to feel really more open and comfortable for all of us, my family of 4. And there's actually some area under the stairs that we're going to use, let our kids have some bean bags and some books, and it might be a really cool play space for them under there. Not for us, my wife and I, we're too tall for under there, but it'd be a good space for them to play. A little reading nook maybe. We'll have a couch there, maybe a bookshelf over here. So this area here, right when you walk in to the left, I have gotten almost all the walls, or at least the plywood portion of the walls up here. So as you can see, I got this wood stove. This is a Joe Tool wood stove. I'll come a little closer. They make these in Sweden, I believe. I've always had my eye on these wood stoves, and somebody was moving and only used this like 2 or 3 times ever since like the 70s, he said. And it's just been sitting in a room in his house, and they're moving. And I think I got it for like $200 or something like that. I know these cost way more than that, probably over $1,000. And I actually had a different wood stove that I was going to use in here, but I like this one better for the aesthetics because of the white ceramic look to it, and also the glass. We'll be able to enjoy the fire. We'll actually be able to see the fire while we're eating dinner here. This isn't going to be our actual table. We're going to build a table, I think, with some live edge wood. But this is where the table, our kitchen table, I believe, is going to go, right in the middle here. And over here, we're going to have some countertops on one side of the sink and countertops on the other side of the sink. And this is going to be off-grid, so we're actually going to, we haven't figured all of it out yet, how we're going to do the water. We're going to do some rain catchment collection and make this a dry cabin, so we're not going to have any plumbing in here. So we're going to probably have some kind of water container that we can just open and shut when we need to wash our hands or do dishes over there, over the sink from the countertops. We'll have some storage there for some other things. In this area here for the wood stove, I'm planning to put up some, well, first I'm going to put up a hearth here in this corner, something like 4 feet wide by 3 feet deep. And I saw a video by Jason from So the Land. He did this in their old mobile home, and I'm gonna basically copy what he did in that video. So I'll have a nice hearth with concrete pavers on top, and then the wood stove on top. And what we're gonna do on the walls behind the wood stove here and here is put a metal roofing tin. So it'll be 4 feet of roofing tin here, 4 feet of roofing tin here. And I think it'll look really sharp, and I think I like how having this angled like that in the corner there. And it's just going to be really nice to see. It'll be nice even when we're all the way over here sitting on our couch. We'll be able to see the wood stove all the way on the other side burning. It'll be really, really nice and cozy in here. So yeah, this is where the kitchen is going to be. Countertops, sink. We'll have some storage in there for different things, maybe a little pantry. Stephanie wants to put a little, what is it called? Like an armoire, or like some kind of shelf for all our baking stuff and all our dishes and stuff right here. And I think that would be a good idea right there next to the wood stove, because we just started making our own bread. We're doing our own sourdough now. I think that would be a good place to be having the sourdough rise right there by the wood stove, especially in the winter months. So I think we're going to do something like that in this area right before the stairs. So I've got a lot done down here on this first floor, but all we need to do, well, the next thing that I really want to work on is getting the hearth for the wood stove put up and the back walls for the wood stove, and having that vented out so it's just set up. Even if we don't get in here this year, but at least for later this year, before this coming winter, later this year, I want to be in this house and have the wood stove all set up. So it's important that that gets set up. And then we're going to start putting up the actual beadboard shiplap looking white walls on top here to make it look really nice and white and open. And then floors. And we have all the flooring. It's just been sitting in here for months. We got to get it on the floor, and it'll be a finished thing. So the fact that we're doing this off-grid makes this actually pretty simple. We just got to get the walls up and the floors and then move all our stuff in here. And we'll figure out the rest as we go. We've got solar panels set up, 2 set up. We've got some additional backup heating sources. We've got kerosene heater. We've got a Big Buddy propane heater, small heater for emergencies. I don't think that's something we're planning to use all the time. We're going to try to use this wood stove, which I think will keep us plenty warm in this small space. Alright, so I'll take you upstairs here. So it's 12 by 20 is the square footage, and that's for both floors. And we can actually stand up here in the loft. So up here, nothing's really changed from my last plans. We're going to have a bedroom for my wife and I on that back wall, and we're going to do some kind of sectioning off from our bedroom so we actually have some privacy. And we're going to do bunk beds here. We haven't, the kids have been playing up here. That's all the toys and stuff. But there's a bunk bed in there we're going to set up along this wall for my son and daughter. And then we'll actually have a play area over there. And we'll, not sure where we're going to put their dressers. We actually might put their dressers right here along the edge of the stairs, just so my son doesn't try to launch himself out. Be a good barrier. Dresser for their clothes, and then they'll also have room to play up here, so that's good. But I'm almost all the way done up here. I still have to do some insulation, as you can see on the back wall and on this end wall, and some of the panels up here. I got most of the way done. Probably at least 3/4 of this room is insulated. So the next step's going to be putting up walls up here, and we're actually not doing anything fancy up here for walls. We decided that we're just going to do plywood walls and paint them, but not the OSB type walls, probably just like a nice pine plywood that we'll just put up here, and we'll probably paint it just white. And for the floors as well, we decided that we're not going to do anything fancy up here. We're just going to paint the floor, and maybe we'll put a rug or two over here for the kids where they'll end up playing. But we're going to keep it really simple, so that means there's not too much to do, but except finish the insulation and putting up walls. Having a wood stove, even though it's not set up yet, but just having a wood stove and being off-grid is something that my wife and I have wanted to do since we started dating. It's like one of the first conversations we talked about was living in an A-frame cabin somewhere And I don't know if we talked about actually being off-grid, but it's something that's grown as an interest of at least mine and hers over the years, the last few years. But it's here, and we've had this barn just sitting here, and it's been really hard to get over here to get work done, but it feels like God is pushing me to get this done, and some friends of mine from church are going to help me finish putting up walls in a few weeks, and I'm really, really grateful for that. So things are moving finally, and I'm very excited. And if you'd like to follow along with some of our updates and further building and living in the off-grid barn build, follow our channel if you're new here. I'd really appreciate that. We do a lot of videos on gardening, chickens, and this will be a new thing that I will be happy to film, is our life in living a simple life in our off-grid barn slash cabin. It's more of a cabin, but I'm very excited to get in here and get our family in here because we are so cramped in our tiny house. I can't stand it anymore, and this is going to be a welcome change for all of us, I'm sure. So that's all I wanted to share in this video, just a quick update of our plans for the off-grid barn. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.